Hey, hello, my name is Nerdy. Most of our perception of the world is based upon what we receive from our eyes. But can you really trust your eyes? Oh, by the way, wow, this is getting long. 1, 2, 3, haircut. It's not much shorter, but it's a lot more comfortable. Our perception of the world around us strongly relies on our sense of sight. But how do we know if what we are seeing is reality? We all hope and think it is. I mean, our sense of sight works well enough. But how do you know if the information your eyes are sending to your brain is what the world around you really looks like? For example, look at this picture. The shape containing the letter A is obviously darker than the shape containing B, right? Look again. Or how about this? This is obviously two gradients on top of each other, but it is actually one solid rectangle on top of a gradient. And the green rectangles on the left are much lighter than the rectangles on the right. Well, by this point, of course you know better. This also works for just about any other color scheme. And this last one still gets me, even after seeing it so many times. Now, even having seen all of these situations up to now, A still is obviously a lot darker than B. Dang you eyes! Every time! Now, I bet you don't believe me that those are all real. If you really want to, take a screenshot and look at it in Photoshop. Those are all 100% real. So why exactly does this happen? Well, scientists don't understand this concept fully, as there are many complex neurological reasons. But the main reason is because our brains see color in terms of context relative to its surroundings. Our eyes don't need to send our brain an accurate physical representation of what's happening in the world, only a relative view that allows our brains to efficiently interpret the information and use it in a way that will allow us to survive. But this is kind of frightening. This means that the information your brain is receiving isn't an accurate representation of the world around you. But remember this, the important thing isn't the actual information that your brain receives, but it's the context that it's in, and the way that your brain uses that information that makes it important. But wait, what is color? Well, a useful definition for color is the wavelengths of light that hit an object and bounce off back into our eye, which is then processed by our brain. But if being processed by our brain is a main aspect of color, then this means that color is a very individual thing. The way you perceive color is the way that your brain uses the information sent to it by your eyes. So imagine you were standing in this room with me, and we both looked at this blue sheet of paper. White light bouncing around this room would hit this blue sheet of paper, and the paper would absorb most of the light, but it would reflect the blue light into our eyes, which would then convert that light into information, which it would then send to our brains. Our brains would then read that information and know that that information means blue light. But that has nothing to do with how we perceive the light. The way that we perceive it could be completely different, and we would have no idea. Alright, this will probably help explain it a bit better. Imagine you and I are both still standing in this room, but there is a third person here. That third person has been blind for their entire life. If we're looking at this blue sheet of paper, we can't explain to them what blue looks like. There is no way in our language system that we have to describe how we perceive color. This means that you can't explain how you perceive color to me, meaning that we could see color completely differently and have no idea. This means that I could look at this blue sheet of paper and perceive it exactly the same as you perceive this red one, and have no way to explain that to you. This is very perplexing to some people, that we have no way to explain this to each other, meaning we are actually very, very alone. everything we perceive is all inside our own head. But if that gets you down, think about how the ability for you to watch this and think about this very subject is unique to humans. So even if we can't do everything, or communicate everything fully to each other, there are some things we can do that are uniquely human. One of which being liking this video and subscribing to Hello, My Name is Nerdy. Hint, hint. Anyway, until next time, this has been Hello, My Name is Nerdy. Oh, by the way, sorry I didn't get a Minecraft video up on Monday, but I should have one up by next Monday. Hopefully.